A warm welcome to everybody today. Isn't it exciting? We all look forward to Thursdays where we can join together, be connected from all around the world. And most of us are familiar with Zoom meetings on a Thursday, where we have created a platform specifically for members from around the world to get together, to connect, to continue to learn, to grow, to build relationships, and to learn more specifically about the AIM products, the AIM companies, which has been going for over 41 years, and also to learn more about how to use the products and to grow in knowledge and wisdom in implementing wiser choices as far as nutrition is concerned. So AIM is the pioneers of whole foods in the world, and it's been a well-established company with a wonderful culture of people. It's the kind of people that are attracted to AIM are enjoy natural living, the natural way, whole foods for the whole family. And it's a wonderful culture. We actually call ourselves the AIM family. And that's really what we are. And especially over the last few years where we haven't been able to always be connected physically and visiting each other and traveling, this is a platform where we can still feel that there's a space for us where we belong, where we can come together, where we can continue to have fellowship and build relationship. And we are very happy to have people joining us from around the world. And I'm multitasking because as I'm doing this, I'm adding more people on. I do just want to say that in South Africa, some internets are experiencing a little bit of a problem with internet strength. So if you lose me, stay connected. Mary Ann can carry on talking and I will cross over to my mobile. Okay, a warm welcome to everybody. And I know we have many people who are joining us today as well for the first time and are very excited to hear Mary Ann Shearer share with us. So Mary Ann and her husband Mark are a formidable team, and I was trying to work out how long I've known them. And I worked out it's like about 35 years. And Mary Ann and I have been with AIM for over 25 years. And we've been passionate about sharing the message of health and nutrition with so many people from around the world, because you know your first wealth will always be your health. And also what's wonderful is that Mary Ann is going to be sharing with us today how to look after your health, not only on the inside, but on the outside too. And I'm very excited because we have got a wonderful new skin range called Reply. And your skin asked for it. And now AIM has replied. And I'm thrilled to be able to be using this skin range. But more than that, I am thrilled that Mary Ann will be sharing with us from her wealth of expertise. So she's been in the nutritional whole food industry for many, many years. And together with her husband, Mark, he's been a great support. And together they have opened so many restaurants. She's a well-known author. She has traveled the world. She has a huge team that she has trained in so many different areas. And Mary Ann juggles so many different things. So Mary Ann, you and I always have a little joke at each other, and we're both aging gracefully, right? You're a few months older than I am, but we are aging gracefully. And what's so nice about this is that it's never too late. And when you're in your 60s, we are learning new things of how to stay young and youthful and happy and healthy the natural way. So I just want to welcome Janet, who's joining us from Canada. And Janet, I believe it's your birthday today. So thank you for taking time out to listen in, and a very happy birthday to you. Okay, Mary Ann, I know that you are ready, and I know you have got a lot of your team listening in for you today. And here comes another one, Deirdre, and Mark's also on board, your brother's on board. So I'm going to hand over to you, Mary Ann, because I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the rest of the hour where we hear from you. So welcome, Mary Ann, and thank you, Mark, for also the two of you are such a wonderful team. And it's so nice to see you, Marianne. I haven't seen you for a long time, but it's so nice to see you. Gosh, you're looking good. Your hair always used to be short and mine was long, and now it's the other way around. But welcome. So excited to hear from you today.
My hair is this long because of Biovivify. I can't help it. It just grows so fast. My hairdresser can't actually believe it. And it just got to a point where I thought, well, at least if it's this long, I can tie it up in the heat. So it does help. And
you're looking so good, and I'm so excited to hear from you today.
I like your hairstyle. It's very cute and sexy. Very.
Oh, thank you, Marianne.
All right.
Okay. The stage.
Okay, I'm going to get my notes up quickly, and let me just have a look here. There we go. Yeah, so thank you, Joan, for inviting me to spend some time with you, and thank you for everybody. I know in South Africa it's a public holiday, so for anybody in South Africa who's joined, I'm honored that you have taken time off from your holiday to come and listen. It's always an honor and a privilege to be involved with whatever Joan's doing. She's done an amazing job in actually putting Chrysalis together. It was something that was sorely needed with AIM, was a support system and a training mechanism, and she's helped everybody in the AIM business and the AIM products to actually get to know the products. And knowledge, ignorance is not bliss. Knowledge is strength, and we need to know what we're using and why we're using it. And hopefully you can gain some insight tonight into how your skin works. I'm absolutely thrilled by AIM's new reply range. I was part of the people that were secretly testing it, and I've been involved in 2 tests about a year ago, and then again about 6 months ago. And I remember being incredibly skeptical about it. I am a natural skeptic. I do not, most of you know that it took me 8 years to actually start using the AIM products, Barley Life particularly. People were nagging me for years. And AIM, Joan kept nagging me, people before Joan. In fact, if I'd listened to them, I would have had Joan signed up under me in AIM instead of me underneath her. But that's another story. The end of the day, I'm glad it took me 8 years to start using it, because people know that I really investigated the AIM products, Barley Life initially particularly, and everybody kept saying, use this, you could make lots of money, use this, you can do this. And I would say to them, until you give me independent research, not done by the company, and I'm not interested in using the product. I want research. I'm not going to waste time and money using it. I've tried it a couple of times, but you don't have a smoothie and put the barley on top of it. Nobody said have Barley Life on an empty stomach. It was just like, to me, if it's green stuff, it can go with anything. It's a neutral food. But I now know that Barley Life is always best eaten on the garden trio, is best. It's so concentrated in nutrients. It's always best on an empty stomach. So it was November 1999, I started using Barley Life, again, very skeptically, but now I had the research. After years of Joan nagging me, she finally arrived with some documents, and she said, here, I've got research from the University of Southern California. It's not paid for by AIM. It's all about barley grass juice and how nutritious it is. And I was blown away by the research, and immediately Deirdre was one of the first people. I see she's in the group, a group of people. I got a whole lot of people onto the products in that first month. I said, I'm doing an experiment. We got the dog and the cat onto it. The dog stopped whining with his back problem, and he lived until he was 12, or I think he was 14 years old when he died. His whole litter had been put down by the age of 3 because they had this degenerative spine condition. And they were in such pain they got put down, except for our dog Dusty. And many of you may remember him from many, many years ago. I know, and then just to say, Deirdre was one of the first people that started using the product. She said, I'm going to try this stuff out. And all these years later, we're still using the AIM products. And Barley Life was the first one that we started using. And honestly, just from that point onwards, I've never had a bad skin, but I come from a family where we have dry skin, very, very dry skin. And so it had normal sort of teenage couple of pimples and stuff like that. But for me, it was very diet related. For most of us, skin is diet related. And so for me, I didn't think my skin could improve. And just using the Barley Life initially, I wasn't even using the Garden Tree. I was just using Barley Life. My skin improved. And I was like, gosh, this stuff's really amazing. And started doing a lot of research into the nutrients in Barley Life. What is it that does this? And one of those, you will see some of the research that I'll share with you, is chlorophyll. It's incredibly, incredibly powerful effect on the skin. And barley life probably contains more chlorophyll than any other food product that I've ever come across. It also has a very powerful antioxidant called superoxide dismutase, which is also known for short as SOD or SOD. It also has a very powerful anti-aging effect on the skin. And so in sharing with you tonight, I'm going to be talking about how do you treat your skin from the inside and out. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the Reply range because I know Joan has spent a lot of time on it, on the ingredients. I investigated them thoroughly when I was testing it and trying out the product. And I was, as I say, the biggest skeptic. I wanted it not to work because I was very happy using sort of a couple of natural skincare products that have got my own branding on them. And I've actually stopped using my own products. And our entire family, my husband, myself, my brother, all three of my daughters, and my grandson, Stephen, who's nearly 23, are all using the Reply range. And my grandson said to me the other day, he looked at me closely and he said, gosh, your skin's really looking good. He says, you're looking younger. And I'm like, oh my word, I'll leave you all my money and my aim down line. And I was joking with him, but he's never actually said anything like that to me. He's never said you're looking good or you're looking anything. He just said, gosh, your skin's looking you're looking younger. And I have noticed my husband, he's dabbled in skincare, used a little bit of this and that. And he's always said to me, whatever you offer me is too oily for my face. And I've got Mark's skin tends to be oily as opposed to dry, which mine can be. And so what I find so fascinating about the Reply range is that it doesn't matter what kind of skin you have, because I come from a traditional background where, you know, you got skincare for dry skin, and you got care for oily skin, and you got skincare for combination skin, and then you had a morning eye cream or a morning cream and an evening cream, and then a separate eye cream, and there were all these jars standing all over, which would cost an absolute arm and a leg. And so I've been completely blown away that this range, and it should be like, it's always maintained that if you're using the right product, it should be good for any skin. That's what's blown me away with AIM, because there's no oiliness to it, but there's no sense of dryness. And in fact, the sense of dryness is not there at all. My skin has been so much better just using specifically Amiga with the essential fatty acids and barley life and the just carrots and the whole garden trio, actually. But I'll go into that a little bit more as to why we need that from the inside out. And I'm just going to share with you some of the things that we might be eating in our diet that could affect our skin, and how your body controls and deals with your skin. And then, as I said, the Reply products, totally impressed with it. There's nobody that I know of that's been using them that is not impressed and is not really happy. And what I've been so impressed with is that Mark and I have been using the same pack for a month, the two of us. So we finished our day cream, the face cream, but we're still using, so we've got an extra one, and obviously you can buy that separately, but we're still using, and we're using it twice a day. We're still using the face wash. We're into 1 month and 6 days. And it feels like the toner is halfway through, and the facial wash, and I was very skeptical of the facial wash because I do not put soap on my face at all. It's really drying and strips my skin. And I've always been taught from a skincare perspective. I remember being trained by a skincare company called Jean Guthrie many, many years ago. And I, as a part-time student, I worked in departmental stores in the skincare groups, and they used to train us on skincare. So I knew quite a lot about skin and skincare from that point of view. You never put soap on your face. And I was like, I'm not putting anything foaming of any kind. And then it was described to me that this is actually like an oil-based foaming cleanser, and it's very low foaming. But that's what amazes me. I don't get that dry feeling after I've washed my face, and it takes off all makeup that I only really wear makeup mainly for Zoom. If I had my way, I wouldn't wear it at all, but you just look a bit washed out if you don't put a little bit of lipstick and a little bit of something on your face. So it takes it all off really beautifully, and I'm totally blown away. So really wanting to talk to you about healthy skin, because you can be putting all the right things on the outside, but if you're not feeding from the inside, that's where your health from your skin comes from. So it's a team effort. It's an outside inside thing. And I remember years ago dealing with a woman, and she was telling me that her son had acne, and what could she do? And I said, well, he's going to have to improve his diet. And she said, but the skin specialist says it's got absolutely nothing to do with his diet. It's all about his hormones, she said. I said, well, what do you think controls the hormones in her body? And she looked at me and said, well, I don't know. And so that's what I want to share with you this evening. The system that controls your skin health is your endocrine system. And your endocrine system, I know Joan's recently spoken on happy hormones. Your endocrine system is the system that controls all your hormones, but it doesn't just control hormones, it controls liver function. So when your liver is not working properly, for example, your skin will play up because the liver tends to detoxify through the skin, and it will be in certain, you can actually get facial charts that show, well, if you're getting a zit over here or a one over there, or it's on your nose, it's usually related to some specific organ. So, for example, you can get, liver function, a digestive tract, for example, will be down here. Liver function can often be on the nose, and it kind of, there's different areas. But your skin is an organ of detoxification. It cleans out. You sweat through it. You get rid of waste products through it. And whatever you're putting into your body, if you're putting toxic substances, carcinogenic substances, your body will get rid of it through the skin, partially through the bladder and the bowels as well, but very much through the skin. And that's, you sweat under your armpits. That's your lymphatic system cleaning out through your skin. So it's really important to maintain your inside body health, because if you're eating really badly and you're sweating out of your armpits and it's actually really acidic, you can get a rash or an itch or an eczema, all kinds of problems going on with the skin. And there are so many skin problems, from dermatitis to eczema to rashes, to urticaria, to all these different kinds of things that can go wrong with the skin. But if you come down to it, if you make sure that your endocrine system is working properly, you'll find your skin will be healthy. And then you need to just look after it from the outside. Sorry, I get a tickle in my throat, and if I don't drink water, I'll start coughing, and you don't want that in your ear. So your hormones control skin function. But your hormones are affected by everything you put into your body. If you don't drink enough water and you suffer dehydration, it's going to show in your skin. The very first place I would start with skincare is by making sure you're drinking enough water. How do you know you're drinking enough? I always advise people to drink a glass of water before they eat anything. Before you eat or drink anything, if you're going to get up in the morning and have a cup of tea, drink a glass of water first. If you're going to have breakfast, drink a glass of water first. If you're going to have a snack mid-morning, drink a glass of water first. You'll also find that when you do that, you actually will balance your weight more efficiently, because very often when we're thirsty, we think we're hungry, and so we eat. So it's a good habit to get into, but not only from a health point of view and weight point of view, but from skin point of view. When you don't drink enough water, your skin becomes dehydrated. And there are a lot of people that won't drink water because they don't like the taste of it. So I recommend is finding a water that has a pH of 7, because it tastes the sweetest, and that's your body can transport nutrients to your cells all over your body when the pH is at 7. Make sure that you've got a good quality water. There are a lot of good quality waters with a pH of 7 that you can drink. You can also filter your water and test it yourself with these little litmus pieces of paper that you can get from AIM. AIM is so helpful. They give us these cute little kits, little litmus set test. You can take it and you can just stick it in your mouth. First thing in the morning is your best. You take it like that and you just break that off. You stick it on your tongue first thing in the morning, or you pee on it. And it will show you where where your pH of yours. Mine is usually somewhere between, depending at the end of the day, it can be 6.5, but it's actually there. You can see it's basically right there where 7 is at the bottom. So it also depends on what you've just eaten. That's why it's best to do it first thing in the morning, not in the evening like this. I just haven't eaten for the last 4 or 5 hours, so it should be okay. But it's an interesting thing, is to test the pH of your saliva, test the pH of your urine. It should ideally be at 7. And if it's not, it shows that you're just simply not eating enough fruit and vegetables. So start with water. The next thing is to make sure you're eating enough fruit and vegetables, because they're very alkaline forming in the body. And if your diet, if you're not taking in enough alkaline forming foods, it puts tremendous strain on your entire body, including your endocrine system. And one of the ways to do this is to also make your body more alkaline, is to take your Bali life on a regular basis, at least once a day. First thing in the morning. Some people like to take it half an hour before breakfast, half an hour before lunch, half an hour before dinner. Some people take it 3 times a day. Some people forget, so they take it all in the morning. You choose. I do know that when you space it throughout the day, you get better absorption and more consistency. And it's entirely up to you how much you take, but never take less than 1 a day. If you've got some serious health problems and your skin's really in trouble, trouble, I would start taking it, because of the high chlorophyll levels, half an hour with your garden trio and your omega to make sure you're getting your essential fatty acids. You need the chlorophyll to help your skin. You need the superoxide dismutase. You need the vitamin E succinate, and that's a fascinating thing. There's a precursor to vitamin C found in sprouted grains, but particularly high in barley grass juice. And it has a very, very powerful effect on regulating your pituitary gland. And your pituitary gland is the managing director, or the CEO or the CFO, whatever title, the big guy at the top or the big woman at the top, meaning the chief, not the large person. Your pituitary gland is the managing director of the entire endocrine system. So if you're taking Barley Life first thing in the morning and potentially half an hour before breakfast, lunch, and supper, your skin and your endocrine system is going to be functioning far more efficiently than somebody who's not taking in these types of nutrients. And you're just not going to get them if you're not having sprouted barley grass. You're just not going to get enough. And interesting stories in the Bible, for example, where Jesus and his disciples are walking through the fields and then they're just eating the wheat, but apparently they were eating the grass. You can't just eat a wheat kernel out of the sheaf like that. But in rural communities, people cut green things and eat them all day long. We kind of tend to stay away from green things. In fact, most people won't even eat a pea because it's green. I've met people that don't eat anything green. And I'm very grateful for AIM for putting the Barley Life in capsules, because that's for those of you who don't like green things. Make sure you're getting enough of your greens in the right form. And if you don't eat other greens, then make sure you're getting it 3 times a day, half an hour before breakfast, lunch, and supper. Okay, so that's the one thing. Is one is water, then is your greens, take your Barley Life, and then make sure you're getting enough fruit and vegetables in your diet. Your just carrots and your ready beets are also giving you vegetable nutrients as well. They're very important. Your beta carotene and your carotenoids, which is what gives it that yellow color, orange color, are essential for all, not only your skin outside your body, but your skin inside your body, which is your mucous membranes. We think our skin just stops over here, but it doesn't. It goes inside and it goes in your gums, and that's basically an extension of your skin. It's very similar cells. And so it's your mucous membranes in your lungs and in your digestive tract. Very important that we're getting enough carotenoids, and that's from orange and yellow and red things. And then your ready beets is really important to take, because if you've got chronic high blood pressure, for example, you can find you get those little broken blood vessels on your skin, which you see in a lot of people as they age. Very commonly, it's from consuming things with a lot of caffeine in them, and smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. It makes your blood vessels relax, and some of the blood starts to leak out of it, and you get these little burst blood vessels in it. Well, what Ready Beets does is it actually helps your body regulate your blood pressure. Because if your blood pressure is too high, which is what things like alcohol, cigarettes, and caffeine can do, is have an effect on the endocrine system that pushes up the blood pressure, including arachidonic acid, which you find in animal products. So what the beets does is help your body to produce enough nitric oxide, which actually helps you with endurance and strength, but also helps to regulate your blood pressure. So it's a very good thing to have that garden trio together. So water, garden trio, absolutely. Essential fatty acids, you've got to have. Your endocrine system cannot work properly without it. I do some personal coaching online, and I only take on 5 people a year because it's pretty intense. It's like 14 months that I'll deal with them. They become like family to me. And one of the girls was living on a totally raw food, plant-based diet and whole food. And everybody was saying, you're just getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Well, she's eventually bedridden for nearly a year. She couldn't cook. Her husband was having to do the cooking. Her kids were actually doing things for her. She couldn't get in. A beautiful, beautiful woman, very slim, underweight, but just so frustrated that she was doing all the right healthy things, but her health was just deteriorating more and more and more. And the first thing I said to her, are you having any sprouted greens in your juice in your diet? Not. And the other one was, are you getting any essential fatty acids? And she was having a handful of nuts and seeds here occasionally, but you don't get omega-3s in the right amount from nuts and seeds, getting lots of omega-6s. She was suffering from a severe deficiency of omega-3 fats. And we got her onto omega-6 3 times a day. She went from 120 pounds. She's my height, 5'7". That's underweight. She went to, or 1.7 meters. She went to 120. I think she was last when I spoke to her, 125, 26 pounds. In fact, I think she went up to 127, but she said she's sleeping so well. Because when you're underweight, your body is very bony and your skin, your bones are touching each other. So she's sleeping well, she's put on weight, and she's looking younger because when you're too underweight, your face looks very gaunt and you look old. And so she's looking younger. She's got all this energy. She's out of her bed and she's running around and she's taking her garden chair and her Omega every morning. And that's the thing that made the big difference. Even though her diet was totally pure and natural, it was life-changing for her. So she's, it's not only improved her health, but obviously improved her skin at the same time as well. So very important to be feeding our body from the inside out, because you're going to, not only the nutrients are needed for your skin, but you need it for the endocrine system, which will function properly. And when your endocrine system's functioning properly, your skin ages slower, but then you need to look at it look after it from the outside too. I've shared a lot of different things with you. Beta carotene, I wanted to get back to that. The beta carotene, I know many years ago, Joan got a hold of a device that would test the amount of carotenoids in your skin. You used to put your hand on it. It was like a party trick. We did a couple of talks together. I know she used it a lot. You'd put your hand on this and it would have like this light and it would measure the carotenoid levels in your skin. And the fascinating thing, because carotenoids are really, really important, it gives your skin that healthy glow. When you have a very pale, sickly look, it's because you're not having enough carotenoids in your skin. And the way to tell it is look at your hand. If you look at it like this, you can see that a healthy person with enough has actually a yellow undertone to their skin. So when I grew up as a kid, very much, we all had kind of pink skins, but now it went more yellow. And people say, that's bad, that's bad. And I said, no, it's only bad if your whites of your eyes start going yellow. That means you've got some form of jaundice, and that has to do with liver function. And it's got nothing to do with eating carotenoids. Your whites of your eyes will not, you cannot take in too much natural carotenoids from food, like just carrots, barley life, in fruit and vegetables. You just simply cannot. Because what happens is you go into the sun and your body just converts it into well, it converts the carotenoids into it regulates your melanin level, not melatonin, which is for sleeping, your melanin level. And what it does is it actually converts it and you get this lovely golden glow to your skin instead of burning red. So it has a natural protective effect. So the more antioxidants you're getting and carotenoids you're getting, the more your skin and your body protects itself from sun damage. And what I'm loving about these Reply products is Joan was talking about how she's went outside and she didn't think about it, and she came inside. She'd been under a lot of sun and she hadn't put any sunblock on, and she came back and the sun hadn't done anything to her, because the products that are in the Reply products are natural. And then when you're using natural products, plant products particularly, they have natural UV factors in them. They're just naturally there. So for example, if you can put things like, mango butter on your skin and it'll have a natural effect on it. Anything that's got carotenoids in it, or anything that's chlorophyll based, for example, will actually help to protect your body. So it's got these natural UV factors in it. It's got no UV chemicals. You don't want to use sunblocks because they're very toxic to the skin. And so you rather want your body to protect itself naturally. So you can use the Reply products on your face. And what I am waiting for AIM to come out with, because you can't just do the face. You need to bring a cream that you can put on your hands and on your legs and everywhere else. So we need to buy a nice big fat jar of that one, Joan. So get them working on that as soon as you can. Anyway, so getting back to the carotenoids. So we used to do this test, and it was quite, as I say, it's like a party trick. We used to say to people, you're eating healthily if you test high enough for the carotenoids in your level. Joan might remember the actual numbers on them. I can't remember. I think it was anything under 20,000, whatever it was, like you're in danger for getting skin cancer. And if you were over 50,000, you were like in the safe zone. I think I'm remembering this correctly. So the amazing thing is that I think Joan and myself and my grandson, all the people that were using the garden trio and eating healthy, we were testing like over 80,000 on this thing. And the people that had come to the talk were not eating well enough, and they were like somewhere between 50 and 20,000. Some people were lower than that, which is really dangerous. So the interesting thing for us, we tested all the people that were using the AIM products, and all of them were over 50,000. So that showed you getting enough of those carotenoids when you're taking the Garden Trio. And so it's really important. Joan, we've got to get a little device like that. Then we've got to try and use it again. We've got to get one that doesn't belong to some other skincare company was using it for their products. But the funny thing is that they were not seeing the results that we were seeing with the AIM members. So as I said, it was a kind of a party trick, and we weren't supposed to be using the piece of equipment, but we did, and it was a great tool. So we need to come up with something that can do that as well. So lack of natural vitamins and minerals such as beta carotene and the B complex vitamins, especially the antioxidant group, can severely affect your skin. You can find your skin is looking really old, as I said, when you're not taking enough fruit and vegetables. And so studies have shown that we need to be eating at least 5 to 11 portions. What is a portion? Just cup your hand loosely, whatever fits into your hand like that. Not a closed hand, a cupped hand like that. So an apple would fit into that, or 2 small ones. You can look at your Garden Trio. You're getting at least somewhere around, you could be getting right up to 5 or 6 portions with your Garden Trio. So it's kind of cheating the system. But I would take the Garden Trio and eat a lot more fruit and vegetables. And one of the easy ways to do that is always eat some raw fruit or vegetables before any meal you eat. It's easy peasy thing. Anybody can do this. So you can start breakfast with a banana or some papaya or a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. You've had your Garden Trio, and now you're having something raw beforehand. You have a snack in the middle of the morning and you feel like a cookie, and you eat a handful of grapes or something because you're looking for something sweet. Probably won't end up liking the cookie that much, but if you're eating some natural fruit and vegetables, just a portion like this before every snack and every meal, and you're taking your Garden Trio, you're basically there. If you're not taking your Garden Trio, you've got to double the amount of fruit and vegetables you're eating. At least have that side plate, a good side plate or more before, like fruit and vegetables at least 5 times a day. So the Garden Trio helps you to not have to eat as much if you don't want to, but it also gives you extra nutrients that you're not getting, like that SOD. You don't get that in fruit and vegetables, standard fruit and vegetables, certainly not to the level that you're going to get in the barley grass juice in your barley life. So very important. So 5 to 11 portions you need daily, and your Garden Trio is going to help you get there really easily. I'm just going over my notes. Barley grass, okay. So getting back to the essential fatty acids and why omega is so important. Omega-3s are essential to make the endocrine system, or to help the endocrine system function optimally. And your endocrine system is made up, as I said earlier, on your pituitary gland, your managing director. It's actually the hypothalamus from the central nervous system and brain is wrapped around that. And so whatever you're eating to help the pituitary gland work properly helps your central nervous system and brain. And I was reading some new research yesterday. They had a list of all the top diseases, and number 1 was long COVID. Number 2 was mental illness. It's the number 2 now that people are most worried about, that the scientists are most worried about, is that mental illness is becoming a huge thing. So eating healthy not only helps your skin look healthy and glow, but it helps your brain function optimally. Which gets me to another thing, is very often people don't want to exercise because they don't want to sweat. And exercise is vital to your endocrine system working properly. If you don't exercise on a regular basis, daily, and you don't have to go running down, you don't have to go to the gym. And in fact, ideally, I would be outside wearing a hat, get natural light, be outside, natural light with all these all these carotenoids, the beta carotene, the lutein, the zeaxanthine, all these natural carotenoids that are coming into us from our Garden Trio and our fruit and vegetables actually help not only your skin but your eyes, but as I said, they give you this beautiful glow and protect you from damage from the sun. So it's really important that you eat enough fruit and vegetables. So you go outside and you exercise and you get a healthy glow to your skin. So instead of looking pale and sickly, and when you're getting enough sunlight, you're able to convert the natural cholesterol that's transported to your skin into vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is a hormone that makes strong bones, but it also is considered, it's a vitamin and a hormone. So it's kind of a strange vitamin in that it actually has a hormonal effect. So it's very important to convert cholesterol into vitamin D, because cholesterol is a vital ingredient, or not only vitamin D, you've got to transport cholesterol to all your cells in your body. Your liver makes it. I mean, everybody goes on about cholesterol's bad and you can't and you've got to test your cholesterol. But the only reason your cholesterol is too high is because you don't have the right vehicle to transport. I'm going to get my little vehicle here, my little red bus. You don't have the right vehicle to transport your essential fatty acids that you're taking in your diet. Hold on. You need the right vehicle to transport cholesterol to the cells where it's needed to make vitamin D in the skin. But also cholesterol is a raw ingredient of all the hormones in our body that help the skin function properly. So if you are not able to transport the cholesterol to the cells where it's needed for your pituitary gland and your thyroid gland and your ovaries and your testes and your parietal cells and all these organs in your body need these essential fatty acids to help the endocrine system function properly so that the whole system can work together properly. So I like to think of it as a vehicle. I've got this little red British bus here. And the vehicle that transports cholesterol away from the bloodstream where the liver puts it once it's made it, to where we need it to make all these hormones like estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, but there are at least 24 hormones that we make from cholesterol, okay? That vehicle is your essential fatty acids. So saturated fats is like the bus with all the seats taken, can't transport any cholesterol to the cells where we need it. Monounsaturated means there's one seat available on this bus. Polyunsaturated means there's 2 or more seats available on the bus. And a super unsaturated fat, which means there's lots of seats, there's a lot more than that available, is known as super unsaturated fat. Your best source of it is from flax oil, which is in your omega. And so flax oil in your omega, perfectly balanced with your sunflower, your sesame, and your olive oil, is the ideal vehicle to transport the cholesterol out of the bloodstream to the cells where you need it to make all the hormones you need to make this healthy skin. And at the same time, what it does is it brings your cholesterol levels down to where it should be, because cholesterol that can't get to the cells because you're not giving it the right vehicle, because you're not taking your omega, and you need at least 6 a day. People are taking 1 a day, 2 a day. You're wasting your time and money. It's 6 a day is what the body, I've seen this time and time and time again. If people are not taking 6 a day, they don't see the results they're supposed to be seeing. That's the least you need. You can do 2, 3 times a day. You can do 6 at once. You can take 3 twice a day. Take it any way you want to, but take at least 6. You should be taking omegas. It's going to make a big difference to your skin. Dryness in your skin, dryness in your eyeballs. A lot of women, then they go through menopause. Men and women, as they get older, they'll get dry eyes, they get dry skin, they get dry areas in the nether regions. And Joan, don't laugh at me. Anytime I mention anything like that, she starts giggling. So, but those are problems for women as they get older. And so you need your essential fatty acids to prevent all of that. And sometimes, like this girl that was in the personal coach group that needed essential fatty acids, we had her on 6 omega 3 times a day to get her body to a place where it's balanced. Now it's balanced. She's able to come down to maintenance of 6. So you need your omegas every single day, at least 6, to transport the cholesterol, to make the hormones you need for your healthy skin and your healthy hormonal system. Very, very, very important, okay? And then we spoke about the carrot juice. Where are we? Let's just go. Oh, a lot of people are nervous about drinking carrot juice, and I found a study which showed that drinking carrot juice daily for 3 months did not alter the subject's weight or their body fat percentage. People are always saying carrots are a carbohydrate vegetable and you mustn't eat them, they're really fattening. It is such nonsense. It's such nonsense. They'll go and eat empty-calorie nonsense, man-made stuff, and avoid carrots. Oh, we can't drink carrot juice. It's going to make me go yellow. No, it's going to protect you from your skin burning, and it's going to give you the nutrients you need for your endocrine system to function efficiently. Superoxide dismutase, I've spoken about that. All right, this I've got to share this with you. I shared earlier on about the pituitary gland functioning efficiently, and it was George Washington University found that substances that protect blood vessels from damage is in the juice of the barley plant. In 1994, at the same university, a vitamin E succinate was identified. So you're finding that nutrients found in barley life will protect your blood vessels from damage, which is what you want, because damaged blood vessels, very, very dangerous. That's when you start having heart problems and clots and all kinds of weird things going on, okay? So what they found is 1994 at the same university, they showed that to improve or modulate prolactin and growth hormone. Prolactin is vital for breastfeeding moms. That vitamin E succinate that was identified in 1994 actually not only helps the pituitary gland, well, it helps the pituitary gland, but it has a very specific effect in that it helps breastfeeding mothers, but it helps you to produce more growth hormone. Now, growth hormone is essential when you're growing, obviously. You don't want to grow anymore when you're fully grown. But what it actually does when you're producing enough growth hormone as an adult, it keeps you slim and trimmed. And the other thing that it does is slows down the aging of your skin dramatically. So get that garden trio in you every day, 3 times a day, if you really want your skin to look unbelievable. So really, really important. Chlorophyll, which was fascinating. It was Dr. Fisher, a Nobel Prize winner. He used chlorophyll to cure anemia. And this was way back. I don't have the exact date here. But since then, chlorophyll has been used to successfully treat problems with the skin like peritonitis, horrible, really. I mean, it's like peritonitis can be a precursor to gangrene, really, really bad infection where you can get really sick and even die. It's been used to treat brain ulcers, pyorrhea, and skin disorders. Any skin problem, you've got to have chlorophyll. So if you're on a strict budget, sometimes people say to me, I can't afford the whole garden trio. Well, get your friends signed up. And if you've got 8 signed up, you end up getting your own products for free. Basically, that's what it boils down to. And that's what I love about AIM is that you can't say I can't afford it because you just need to get 8 other people using the products. And you, the products you want to use, if they're using the garden trio, you basically can afford to have yours. So chlorophyll, where are we? Skin disorders, where are we? Increases the function of the heart, the lungs, the intestines, the uterus, and the skin. It's really important. Your skin is actually a reflection of your health overall. I mean, you know, when you look at somebody and you say, you look awful, what's the matter? It's because their skin is looking gray. Their skin could be looking dry, dark rings under their eyes. They're just not looking really healthy. So once your skin is healthy, you find your skin is your way. You don't need to have blood tests. If your skin is glowing with health, I'll tell you right now, you're healthy inside. Because I've never found anybody who's had blood tests of any kind who has glowing, healthy skin. Go and have blood tests. They just say your health is perfect. All your levels are perfect. It's amazing. So chlorophyll has been studied for its potential to stimulate tissue growth. It stimulates red blood cells in connection with oxygen supply. So it's supplying more oxygen to your skin, which means more oxygen means lower, slower aging. It's reducing the absorption of dietary carcinogens. You don't want to, if you might be eating something, you're out, it's fried, and that's highly carcinogenic, it actually protects you against carcinogens, okay? So very important. It reduces absorption of dietary carcinogens. I've got that. Removes carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide from the body, which has a very aging effect on the skin, and that's from pollution, just car pollution, traffic, factories, living in a city or near a city. In a westernized culture, we are exposed to a lot of air pollution. It has a very anti-inflammatory effect on the skin, your chlorophyll. Huge amount of antioxidant activity because of the SOD, but also the other nutrients that ends there. And you will find that your wound healing capacity in your skin increases dramatically when you're taking your barley life and your garden trio with the carotenoids. So people find if you cut your finger, it heals faster. If you get something like a pimple or something on your skin and you've scratched it, it seems to heal much faster. Some people have said sometimes it would take 5 days to a week for something to clear up on their skin, and it's literally overnight, and I've seen that. I walked into a tree the other day here quite badly, and my head was bleeding. It must have been about 4 or 5 days ago, and I was walking at night, and I was going to switch the hose pipe off, and I went around this tree and on the right instead of the left and forgot there was this branch. So I walked right, smacked my head. You know, it's like little birds tweeting. That's what it felt like. And I came inside and Mark's like, what's wrong with your head? And it was bleeding and I had the scab here. And it was 4 or 5 days ago. It's completely gone. I didn't put any makeup on it. I just felt it today and I thought, oh my word, it's completely gone. There's a little bit of dryness of the skin, like a couple of scabs, and they just came off. But I'm at an age, and Jane Jones is in her 60s. I'll tell you, I'm 66. Okay. I'm at an age where my skin needs, if I look at, my mother at this age and other people at the age, I see people whose skins age a lot faster. And it's not because I'm vain for any reason. I'm just amazed at how taking in enough of the right nutrients like your chlorophyll and your beta carotene and your essential fatty acids, how it actually slows down the aging process. It's pretty miraculous. I'm coming to one of the most powerful things that we're going to actually have. So skin problems like acne, for example, you follow the same protocol. You do exactly the same thing, use the same products, but what I would, very important to make sure your skin is good. Acne is a result of a hormonal system out of balance. And one of the most common causes of acne is gluten in the diet. So usually what I say to people is remove gluten. And the reason we've developed all these intolerances to gluten is because when it was grown naturally thousands and hundreds of years ago, it was fine. But what we did is we hybridized it to increase the protein, which is the gluten portion. Then we mixed it with sugar and made cakes and cookies and breakfast cereals with sugar in them. And then we would eat the sugar, add more sugar on it with the gluten. And then your body would go into like total panic because your blood sugar drops too low. It says we're being attacked by an enemy. You'd make antibodies and you'd attack the protein that came in with the sugar, which happens to be gluten. So now a lot of people are gluten intolerant, and it can cause autoimmune diseases like lupus. Even diabetes is considered a type 1 diabetes, an autoimmune disease, because your body appears to be attacking the pancreas. And multiple sclerosis, those types of things, Graves' disease, a lot of the thyroid problems. And so a lot of that is related to gluten intolerance. You take it out, a lot of that stuff clears up. On condition, hold on, I'll tell you now. On condition that you're taking your omega and your barley life. You've got to make sure that you are eating properly, that you're taking your garden trio, you're taking your omega, and you find things like acne just clear up, skin problems, urticaria, rashes. There's a form of dermatitis that you get on the back of your arms like this when you get those pimples on your back of your arms. I had them as a kid. I'd scratch them. And I've seen family members have the same problem. Get the essential fatty acids in, your omega, your body life, take out the gluten, it goes away completely. If you just take out the gluten, it partially goes away. If you take in the barley life and the omega, it partially goes away. Do the two together and it's gone completely. So it's interesting. You know, when it comes to things like skin problem and acne, there are over 500,000, that's 500,000 different prescription medications sold in pharmacies in the USA alone for skin problems. And at the top of it is something like Accutane or Roaccutane, which can cause a lot of damage to the body. The side effects of something like any medication we take for skin problems can be dryness of skin, scaling, thinning, inflammation, trauma may cause blistering, facial hyperpigmentation, dryness of the nasal mucosa, pharyngeal mucosa, all of this, your skin and your throat and your eyes, everything just dries up. Corneal opacities, cataracts, decreased night vision, photophobia or blurred vision, tiredness or malaise, headache, nausea, drowsiness, sweating, myalgia and arthralgia, which is like a form of arthritis or pain in the muscles and the joints. It just, the list goes on and on and on. Whatever medication you happen to be on, read the side effects, then work with your doctor, work with yourself, getting your diet right, getting yourself on the garden trio, and work with your doctor to wean off medication that has side effects like this. Your skin, your body can repair its skin. And I've got to tell you this, if you create the right environment in your body with a healthy diet, the garden trio, your omega, and you are creating a healthy environment in your body will start to repair your skin. I know for myself that, as I said, I didn't have very bad skin, but if I did eat gluten, I would get pimples even as an adult. But what is worse is if I ate one slice of homemade whole wheat bread, even of organic flour, every day for 5 days, my skin would dry out so badly. Mark would look at me and say, "What's happened to you? You look 10 years older than you looked on Monday, and it's now Friday." And I would gain 5 kilograms in body weight because it has an effect on the endocrine system in some people. So make sure that and I'm sharing this with you because very often people will just go and buy skincare products. Like you go and buy the Reply, you use them, they say that feels great, but these other problems aren't sorting out. Your Reply is going to maintain your skin health, and it's going to help with the aging process by looking after your skin from the outside, protecting it from harmful chemicals that you can be exposed to pollution, protecting you to a certain extent as well from the UV, from too much sun on your skin, and all of that helps you protect and maintain it. But you've got to feed your body and feed your skin from the inside out. That's what you've got to do. So you can't just expect to use the skincare products and then all your skin problems must go away. That's not going to happen. you've got to do the two together. They are tools that work together properly. On the other side, you can eat really well, but if you're not looking after your skin, it can also be very dry and it ages faster. So the two have to be done together. All right, where are we? Eczema, dry skin, again, essential fatty acids, really important to make sure you're taking enough omega. I can't stress that enough. And what people have often, today, what a lot of people are doing is buying a lot of collagen, which is a really stupid thing to do because your body makes collagen for free. Which gets me to one of the other products that AIM has, which is an amazing product, which is called BioVivify. A BioVivify is an amazing product that contains the nutrients you need. And if you have this book, AIM's been doing an amazing job with their magazines. This one is one of my favorites. It's just got this wonderful description of the product like that. And I can give you all the research in here, but if you just take a quick look at this, it'll tell you that it's got astaxanthin in it. And astaxanthin is basically a nutrient that's found in an algae, and it, together with the nutrients that are in here, the natural vitamin C that's in it, and what else have we got there? With these in the astaxanthin, it contains natural things like copper, which are needed. These trace elements are needed together with there's also carotenoids in there. There's amino acids like proline, lysine, and then biotin is just part of your B vitamins and the vitamin C. It's the right formula, which you must take, and I find it works much better with your omega. You have to take BioVivify and omega together because the conversion using those nutrients, using the nutrients in your BioVivify together with your omega essential fatty acids, your body just starts to make collagen just beautifully, absolutely beautifully. And so what you find is that the aging process does slow down tremendously from the inside out when you're taking that. So I take BioVivify with my garden trio with omega, and I use flora food as well. I honestly know, and I've seen it, that your gut health is reflected in your skin. I take a flora food every single day. And the reason for that is your gut bacteria can be upset so quickly. You just drink, this is filtered water. But let's say, for example, it's filtered out 99% of whatever chlorine's in there, and 1% comes through that. Chlorine is a sterilizing agent. Alcohol is a sterilizing agent. A lot of people just make alcohol in their stomachs when they eat a lot of foods all mixed together, and they end up with if you ever get indigestion and you're burping and you've got flatulence and your food's sitting in your stomach, I'll tell you now, you're making your own natural alcohol in your stomach. And you need to keep your meals simpler. I'm not going to go into that today. But it's pretty easy. One concentrated food at a time. Potatoes are concentrated, fish is concentrated. One concentrated food with lots of vegetables with it, for example. Raw vegetables, cooked vegetables. So it's potatoes and vegetables and salads, or fish and vegetables and salads. You just don't mix. You don't have rice and potatoes or rice and fish together. There's too much concentrated nutrients, too many concentrated nutrients. Your digestive tract doesn't work very efficiently. And you produce alcohol, which sterilizes your stomach, okay? So that's the one side of it. Chlorine in water will sterilize it. Alcohol if you're having a glass of wine, it's going to sterilize your stomach. So I take flora food one every single day. Can I tell you, it not only improves your skin because your gut's working properly, but it improves your brain. Because when your gut bacteria are balanced, you're actually communicating with the neural cells in the brain very efficiently. So very important that you are taking your astaxanthin with your omega and your flora food and your garden trio. And that to me is the essentials. Garden trio, omega, BioVivify, flora food are the essential nutrients you need for your skin to be healthy. On top of that, I would say regular exercise, because exercise regulates at least 24 hormones, and those hormones help the skin function efficiently. They help to give you that glowing skin that you need. And you don't, as I said, have to go to gym. You can just go for a walk. 20 minutes a day is the least you should do outdoors. Do another 20 minutes later in the evening again, whether it's gardening or on a treadmill, but at least 20 minutes must be outdoors every day. You've got to have fresh air and natural light for your skin, your endocrine system to work properly so that you can sleep better at night. And that's the last thing I'm going to mention is you've got to make sure you're sleeping efficiently at night. Sleep. You know that when you wake up in the morning and you haven't slept well, you actually look old and feel old. You know when you've had good sleep, you wake up and you're like, oh my word, I lost 5 years overnight. Sleep is essential for your endocrine system, which is how the skin works properly. You must be sleeping well at night, which means you need to try and exercise outdoors, helps to regulate melatonin. Melatonin regulated helps you sleep properly at night, keeps you happy in the daytime. Okay, very important. Get that natural light. You're not lying in the sun with the skin baking your face. You're just outside with a hat on your head and you're pottering around in the garden, or you're going for a walk with a hat or a cap on. So very important to get the exercise, absolutely essential, because it'll help you sleep properly, exercise outdoors, and then make sure that you switch off all electronic devices. I know we're on it right now, but you need to switch it off and get it out of your bedroom. If you've got your phone next to you, or your computer, or your laptop, or a television in your room, I can tell you now, you're not going to have good quality sleep. You're just not. Electronic devices outside. Don't have charging. Don't be charging things inside either. You will not sleep properly. And then the next thing is to try and make sure that you're in bed by 10 o'clock every night. Switching your light off definitely before 11 o'clock, but ideally at 10 o'clock. If you do that, you're going to have good quality sleep. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to feel refreshed, and your skin is going to look amazing and your body's going to function optimally. Very, very important. And then on top of that is to use your Reply products. As I said, it's just you've got inside out. You've got these two things that work together. So you've got to be eating healthy, exercising, and using this. And it's nothing fanatical. We're not talking about going to the gym for 2 hours a day. Anybody can walk for 20 minutes a day, even if it's round and around your house. If you feel you're not safe, you can find a balcony and you can jog or jump on a mini trampoline on your balcony in the natural light. You can do that. You can eat your meals outside on a veranda and get natural light. It's one of the things. But make a point of getting enough exercise, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, taking your garden trio, your omega, your flora food, your biovivify, and use your reply, and you're going to have the most awesome skin ever. Joan, I don't know if you want to ask questions, but I think I've used up all our time.
Mary Ann, thank you so much. I think that you mentioned everything, and I think that this is a good time to round it off with the way you've summed everything up so well at the end. So there were many people who excused themselves today that couldn't be on with us, and I'd like to say that this recording will be available, and I know that many of you that are on board today would like to listen to it again. So we will make the recording available. What I love, Mary Ann, is how, and this is what, you know, from the very beginning, that I learned so much from you, is the way you address the body as a whole. And you've done it so nicely today, in the sense that I've even had people WhatsApping me and saying, gosh, Mary Ann is speaking so well today. You've touched on every single area and how they all connect together, and how we need to address the body holistically, both on the inside and the outside. And you've also shared such a wealth of information about, gosh, you haven't left anything out. You've spoken about the gut and the digestive system and the skin and the endocrine system, and you've connected all the dots. And that's what I've always loved listening to you, because I always learn something more. And when we connect the dots, it's actually so exciting, because then things start to make sense for us. So I just want to say thank you so much. I've so enjoyed listening to you today. And Janet, whose birthday it was, says thank you, Joan and Mary Ann. And there have been thank yous coming in. I think we're going to wrap it up with this, because you ended on such a high note. And I know that you have encouraged and inspired many of us to now go straight away and make sure that we are doing everything we possibly can the natural way. So I'm going to leave it over to you again, Mary Ann, to wrap up, if there's anything you'd like to say in closing. And unfortunately, our time has run out, but if anybody would like to thank Mary Ann, we're not going to have time for questions. If anybody would like to unmute themselves and say hi, and I know we've got thank yous coming in on the chat box. Does anybody want to unmute themselves and say hi to Mary Ann and thank you?
I think we've run out of time. You can just wave.
Okay, but Laura would like to say something. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Mary Ann, thank you so much. That was awesome. Just so good to be reminded of all the basics again. And I think you just covered it so succinctly. And, you know, you handed me that jar of Barley Life in 2012 when I was pregnant. And that's where my journey started. And it really is life changing. I shared in the chat that that was what got me through my breastfeeding. And that was just the very first link in the chain. So thank you so much. Your enthusiasm and your passion for this just continues to overflow all these years later. And I can always just love just listening to you. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's always great to have feedback like that, isn't it, Marianne? Is there somebody else who would like to say hi?
It's an honor and a privilege to actually be involved in people's health journey and their journey to wellness. And I think we can forget that sometimes because, it's such an exciting journey to be with people and watch them get healthy and get well and be part of that journey. And it's an amazing thing. And a lot of people always ask me why I keep my cello in the background here. One's to remind me to practice, but the main reason is it's like getting healthy and being well is like playing an instrument. You've got to work on it every day and you've got to want to do it. You've got to get up in the morning not saying, oh, I've got to do 20 minutes of exercise, I'm going to take my barley. You've got to I'm so excited. I'm going to exercise and I'm going to take my barley and I'm just so excited about what my body's doing and it's amazing. And we get to, and I know, Joan, you've helped many people and Laura is also involved with helping a lot of people. We all are. As an AIM member, you're actually helping yourself and you're being an example to your community. And there's nothing, your most powerful testimony is your own wellness. And that inspires the people around us. And what a privilege we all have, really. It's a privilege. So I just want to thank you for coming out on a day like today and listening and inviting me. I'm always excited to speak to anybody about their wellness. So thank you for letting me be part of your journey. Really
thank you so much, Marianne, and we'll definitely have you back on again soon. So thank you so much, and all the thank yous are still coming in, but we'll be having Marianne back again soon, and have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you, everybody, and especially Marianne for taking time out today. Thank you so much. Bye for now.